Happy Thursday, March 17th, 2022, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patty's Day. I got my green on. Gotta have the green on St. Patrick's Day. I got a little bit of Irish in me. I have a lot of it. Probably have some in me right now. Gonna have probably have a lot of Irish whiskey in me a little bit later. But first, I gotta get on an airplane in a few hours, and I'm gonna be jetting to Phoenix. Bixweir, Road to Ruta Road Show on March 19th, this Saturday, at Dos Gringos. I don't know if it's not considered Phoenix. It's like Gilbert or Scottsdale, or I'm not sure. I don't know my way around. Thank God for Uber. I know Uber is increasing their gallon miles. What is every mile they're adding a surcharge because of the price of gas. It's interesting. The barrel of oil dropped under $100 and the price of fuel is still way up. Must be a refining crunch or something, or who knows. Hard to say. But that's where we are in society. Inflation's out of control. We need to do something about it. So what do? Raise the interest rate by 0.25%. I think the Bank of England raised it from 0.25 to 0.75. I just saw a blurb of that, something. But raise interest rates, this is just my thinking. This is what happens. They tried this crap in 2018. They did this before, a decade ago. What they do is they give lip service to it. They say, we need to stop inflation. The economy is too hot. We need to cool it off. We need to help people because inflation bad. And what they'll do, they'll talk about raising interest rates just like they do right now. They say they're going to raise 6 times this year. The Fed says that. They raised once yesterday, 0.25%. But I don't think they're going to go much further because something's going to happen. It'll be some existential threat. It could be aliens or something, who knows. Where we can't do it, or something happens in the economy, or something goes south in the whole Ukraine situation. It'll be something. And that'll fit into the narrative of, oh shoot, we can't raise rates anymore. Let's just hold. Let's just wait and see. And that's what's going to happen, because raising them too much is going to put a pinch on that new money that needs to be borrowed, that needs to fund this debt system, or else it implodes. So I don't see them staying the course and raising rates too much longer. One time, probably one and done, actually, maybe another one. It's not going to happen. I just don't see it. Don't see it. You got this big Ponzi scheme where they've created all this money that you have to pay it back. Because it's all debt-based. You take a $100 loan out and you got to pay back, 2% of it. So $2. So you pay back $102. All right, so where's that $2 come from? You need another loan out there somewhere that's into the economy, and they use that money, part of that money, to pay the $2. Problem is that money that was created over here has interest attached to it. So you got to pay back that interest. Where's that come from? It has to be created constantly. That's just how it works. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a debt-based fiat system. Well, they create it out of nothing, but they make you pay back money that you then have to create out of nothing because of the interest. So I don't see them keeping rates. I don't see them going much higher. I could be wrong. If I am wrong and they just raise rates Volcker style like they did in the 1980s, Treasury Secretary Paul Volcker, and just start jacking the rates, that's a whole nother ball game. But we'll see. They may do it. I don't think they're going to do it because I don't think they care about sound monetary policy anymore. I don't think they care that they print all this money. I really don't. We just gave another couple billion to Ukraine on top of, I think, our almost 14 billion before that. And it's just like you just keep writing these checks. But, the Fed will keep printing money, keep creating it out of nothing, and we'll buy real stuff with it, like guns, and pay off people. And it works until it doesn't work. Until people are tired of it and they say, well, that money, you need to pay me in gold. You need to pay me in, nickel. We're talking about nickel. And look at it. Now nickel, the metals exchange, they can't place orders. It's just a big mess. So when you're going after real assets with fiat money, you get into a bit of a problem. at some point you're not able to buy it at any price because there's only so much to go around. And at some point, somebody's going to say, that's not enough money. You're going to have to give me better money, or you're going to have to give me a lot more of that crap money. Right now, they're asking a lot more for that crap money, for everything, for fuel, for metals, sound assets, things you can use. I mean, you think about it. You just can't keep creating money out of nothing and think you're going to buy up everything that has value in the world. It just doesn't work. The U.S. government could say, I'm going to buy all the Bitcoin. And they print up, I don't know, what's Bitcoin's market cap at this point? $1 trillion? I don't know, something not even, maybe say $1 trillion. All right, whatever. They're going to print up $1 trillion. Can you buy all the Bitcoin that's on the market? You know, by the market cap of $1 trillion, all that's being computed here is 19 million Bitcoin times the price of $40,000. And that's how much it is. The thing is, though, not everybody's going to sell it to you. So, you know, somebody's going to say, no, I'm not going to sell mine. I'm going to hang on to it. So the government prints another $1 trillion, say, well, I'll double it. I'll give you $80,000 a piece. I want all the Bitcoin. Is, you know, and people are going to catch on and say, the whole reason I have Bitcoin is the fact that governments are out of control and just print money like crazy. So I'm going to sell my Bitcoin to you for the money that you're just creating out of nothing. Now, that might work if you get the money real quick before everybody realizes how much has been printed. If you get it real quick and then you go buy real stuff with it, then you might benefit. And see, that's what happens. I mean, in this inflationary environment, the people who are first to the monetary supply, before everybody realizes there's a lot of money being created, those people who get it first are the ones who benefit because they can go out and buy things before everybody realizes, wait a minute, there's only so much of these things to go around and we got all this money. You know, it's the Bitcoin scenario. It's the same thing. And so it's happened in housing. You got all these entities buying up the houses. Now there's no supply. Can't get anything. You know, so the price goes way up. And that's just how it works. So, yeah, they can print up as much money as they want, but they're not going to be able to buy finite assets that there's a limited supply of, because there's a limited supply, and the people who hold those assets at some point are going to say, nope, I know they're valuable. It's like being in an old Western town, and you've got the only source of alcohol, you know, the only distillery for, 200 miles. And somebody comes in, starts printing up a bunch of money and says, yeah, here, I'll give you these notes for it. You're like, I don't think so. I mean, this is pretty valuable stuff. I'm the only one who has it. I've got a real asset. It's finite. I can only make so many bottles a month. You know, you print all this money up. I'm not selling it to you. Next thing you know, well, I'll give you this gold coin for it. All right, now we're talking. Now we're talking about something else. And, then you might be able to come to an agreement, because you know that over there in those hills, it ain't easy taking the gold out, because you see all these people going to work every day and not coming home with anything, maybe particles of gold, little gold dust, and you know it's not easy to come by. So if you can get it, you think, okay, well, you know what, a bottle of whiskey, for some gold, okay, I'll do it. And that's how the market determines what's going on. But instead, we've got a market that just is completely rigged. We've got a financial system that is controlled by a bunch of psychopaths. They think they can just create with no consequences. And for them, there aren't any consequences, because they're still in power and they have the ability to sign checks to send to Ukraine and many other countries, not picking on Ukraine, but that's just where you're at. And why are you even involved in it? Why are you not taking care of your own people? You've got people who are homeless and living on the street. And that's no big deal. Yeah, it's not a big deal. We got to go help other people. I don't know. You get your own house in order before you can really affect change somewhere else. If you're not fixed, how are you going to help somebody else? If you don't have your crap together, how are you going to help somebody else and give them advice? Usually it doesn't go that well. So, that's where it is. Anyway, big Ponzi scheme, debt-based system. Sound assets are what are going to win in this whole ball game. And if, these nations who have sound assets, they're going to win. If they've got resources that they can access, and they're the only game in town, they've got the distillery, they're making the whiskey, You look at El Salvador, who has adopted Bitcoin. Who was the other one? I guess Ukraine, I think, just recently signed a bill. I don't know if it's into law and what the details are about a digital currency act. I don't know. You know, it's favorable for cryptocurrency, it looked like. But you've got El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender. It's money you can spend anywhere in El Salvador. Now, they've got some resources. They've got resources like volcano energy. You might have heard of that. And then it's geothermal energy, to where basically free, you just got to drill into it and you use that as an energy source. So they can set up mining rigs for Bitcoin, for Litecoin. And they're using that cheap energy that they've got there to produce Bitcoin and Litecoin, or mine it out. I don't want to say, you can't print Bitcoin and Litecoin. There's a fixed supply. It comes out like clockwork, like math. Every block of transactions for Bitcoin is 6.25 Bitcoin. That happens every 10 minutes. That gets cut in half every 4 years. So it's a diminishing supply coming onto the market. Litecoin right now is twice that. So it's what, 12 and a half? Yeah, 12 and a half. Can't do my math. And next August-ish, it's going to have to 6.25 like Bitcoin. Pretty sure that's where it's at. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So then you've got less Litecoin coming on the market. So if you're mining it, I mean, you're harvesting a valuable resource that can't be changed. It's fixed in the code. And so the more of those you have going forward, the more spending power and, you know, desirable money that you have in your possession. And governments are going to do this. They're already setting it up, because they've got resources, they've got energy, and they're going to use it. They might not have oil, but they've got energy. And what better thing to hold than sound money? Everybody's waking up to that fact. Governments are waking up to that fact, and they're a little late. I mean, there's already been 19 million Bitcoin mined, and there's only 2 million more to go, 21 million total. And they're going to set up all these operations and put all these resources into it, because they understand the last 2 million we got to get our hands on, because we're not able to buy the other ones. People might not be selling them, no matter how much money we give them. That will happen. Litecoin, you've only got 14 million left to mine out. That's going to take 100 years, because, you know, the blocks just diminish in return. I mean, all the easy ones, all the low-hanging fruit's done. All that gold that you pick up in the stream, it's gone. You got to get into the mountain now. You got to work to get it. So if you've got it now, you are so far ahead of the game. People coming into the game after you, when there's only so much to go around, they're going to have to pry it out of people's hands, because the new supply is diminishing. There's less and less. If you've got it in your possession right now, you don't understand, you don't realize how valuable that is and how much energy it's going to take in the future. You're the guy, energy in the future to get a hold of it, but you're the guy right now, the guy and the gal that, you know, you were walking, you know, in 1840s, you know, in California, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at the gold, you know, it's in this stream bed, and they're getting all the easy gold and picking it up. It's like the diamonds in Africa. People are just picking them up. Once all the easy stuff is gone, which it is, Bitcoin and Litecoin, all the easy stuff is gone. That's why it was so low in price for so long, that you could have an opportunity just to pick it up for nothing. But now you're going to have to work. You want 1 Bitcoin, it's going to cost you $40,000 of your energy. What's the average salary in this country? You know, and then you take all the taxes out of it, and all the taxes that you have to pay on everything that you buy. And how much money do you really have left over to deploy to buy Bitcoin? I mean, $40,000 for 1 Bitcoin. You could have bought it for $100 easily. You know, you could rewind 2016, before we had the run up in 2017. Could have bought it for under $1,000. Could have bought it for $500. Under $500 for 1 Bitcoin. Litecoin, it's like $110 right now. You've got an opportunity to still, you know, maybe move that sand in the stream a little bit and dig down. Oh, there's a Litecoin. You know, there it is. There's that treasure. Some point soon, when the real value of what that coin is hits people, that it's the same as Bitcoin, but only better in a lot of aspects. It's faster. There's 4 times as many. It's a little more liquid, but it's still a fixed supply. The network's never gone down. It's got privacy features coming in. It's a no-brainer. It's cheap. It's way on sale. Pick it up out of that stream bed while you can. And then at some point, it won't be there. And then you're going to have to try and go into a cave and blast through and see if you can find some in there. You're going to dig through that mountain. You're going to dig way down in the earth. It's going to get really hard to get. And it's going to cost you a lot more in energy. And money is just nothing more than a representation of your energy. So if it's $110 today, it's going to be $1,000 tomorrow. And someday it'll be 10,000. And Bitcoin will be way over 100. And then it'll be 200, and then 300,000. And that's just what's going to happen because of the math. There's just no way around it. It's just a time game. Yeah, it gets frustrating when you're looking at it, like this, a lens like that. But when you look at the big picture and you watch, its trajectory is up all the time. And so the best investment advice that I've ever heard is DCA, dollar cost average. When you've got a little bit of money left over, instead of going and buying expensive meals and fancy coffees, just put that money into whatever crypto that you like. I mean, Bitcoin or Litecoin. And you'll look back and say, that was a good move. That was a pretty good move. I could have spent $50 on dinner. I got a half a Litecoin. Something you have in your possession. Man, you just don't realize how valuable this stuff is. And I hit the math all the time. But if in the world there's only enough Litecoin to go around, and this is after it's all been mined. Okay, right now, all the people in the world, if they were to own Litecoin, spread it out evenly, 0.01, 1/100th of a Litecoin for each person. That's all there is to go around. That's it. That's it. And if you can look at it now to where, I'm going to drop $50 on a decent dinner. I say a nice dinner. I don't think it's a decent dinner anymore. I mean, 2 people, $50 is good luck. It's crazy. Even the fast food restaurants. I mean, want to talk about inflation. I remember, here I hear old guy talking. I remember you could go buy a Big Mac value meal for $2.99. Big Mac, fries, and a drink, $2.99. Now what is it? I don't know, $8, something ridiculous, but there's your inflation. Tacos. I used to work at Taco Bell. Get tacos for 59 cents, I think, for a crunchy taco. It was 59, and then it went to 69. It was 69 cents. I know it was. Maybe it was 59. I don't know. But now what is it? What's it now for one taco? So that's where you're at. You got to look at finite assets. And then during that same time frame, what did Bitcoin do? So while you're paying a heck of a lot more for garbage food, if you would skip some of those meals then, put it into Bitcoin, put it into Litecoin, what has it done in comparison? Price of the crap food went up a lot. Litecoin went up a lot more. Really kept pace with inflation. Outpaced inflation. Or maybe that is the real inflation. But it's going to continue to do that because it's math. There's only 0.01, 1/100th of a Litecoin to go around for everybody in the entire world. If you're able to skip a decent meal and use that for Litecoin, you got half of a Litecoin right now. 50 times ahead of people. 50 times ahead of everybody in the rest of the world. And then everybody else is thinking that, I'll get a Litecoin. And that's less for everybody else to go around. So you're just way ahead of the game. You're eating up that finite supply. You are completely taking that off the market. And there's less and less and less. That scarcity factor will kick in at some point. The real value of that coin will kick in at some point. And it will be a supply shock. It's like you saw with nickel on the London Metals Exchange. It's like you will see with silver soon. There will be that supply shock of, I can't get it. And then at some point, I can't get it at any price. Because what I'm willing to pay for it with, these fake, cheap, made-up, magic money, dollar bills, that aren't dollar bills, they're Federal Reserve notes, You want to pay with that, and somebody's going to say, no, I don't want them. I'll be that guy. I don't want them. I don't want them. Give me something of value. Give me that bottle of whiskey that, there's only so many you can make. Give me that fine cigar that I can't get anywhere. Give me something that I want. Give me something that gives me some satisfaction, some pleasure. And then maybe I'll part with a little Litecoin. Other than that, what are you going to do with this garbage money they keep printing up? And that's what they're going to do. If you've got your retirement in the US dollar, you might want to rethink that. If you've got it locked with some custodian where you can't just get it anytime you want, you might want to rethink that. If you got your money sitting in the bank, you might want to rethink that. Safety deposit box, definitely rethink that. Anything that's in those walls of that bank, you don't own anymore. You don't have possession of it. You don't have it. That bank closes for a holiday, whatever it may be. Doesn't reopen, or reopens and says, guess what? You don't have access to it. We don't like what you're doing with that money. We don't think you're a good patriot. We don't think you're supporting America. We think you're supporting Russia and Putin. You don't have access to it anymore. But it's my money. No, it's not your money. It's our casino. These are poker chips. Didn't you know that? We don't have to cash them out. You come to our window and try and cash them out. You know what? Doesn't matter. Keep pushing. We're going to take you in the basement and break your knuckles. Have a nice day. Don't be in that situation. Hold your possessions. Hold your wealth. That's the key. If you're the custodian, you only have yourself to blame. But if you're not the custodian, you don't know who to blame. There's too many people out there controlling your money. And they're not going to tell you how to get it back. They're going to do whatever they want with it. Oh, well, I was told to do this to lock your and freeze your account. And I don't know. Or it's frozen. There's nothing I can do about it. It came down from, high. Got an opportunity of a lifetime. Skip that meal. Skip that coffee. Just do it one time. Say, you know what? There's one meal I'm not going to go out and get. Boy, I really feel like getting, going to this place or that place. I really want to go get that steak. You know what? Skip it one night. Say, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice. It is Lent after all. Time to sacrifice. Giving up meat on Fridays, but I still eat fish. Please make some sacrifices here. Just make one sacrifice. One sacrifice. Skip that big meal. Take that $50. Say, if it's a big meal for the family, it could be over $100. Take that and buy one Litecoin. And then go about your business. But hold that one Litecoin. And then look back. Mark this video. Remember that guy who was preaching in a digibug out in the middle of freaking Midwest. Go back and look and watch it again, or think in your mind, replay this. He said maybe I should go out and skip a meal and, think about buying one Litecoin. Well, I've got that one Litecoin, and you're going to look at it and say, wow, I can't believe it's 4 digits. Not just low 4 digits. Glad I skipped that meal, because right now, I get a really big meal. I can get a buffet for a year. I mean, I make light of it, but it's so true. And I want everybody to have an opportunity. I wish somebody would have yelled at me and screamed at me and said, listen, you got to look at Bitcoin. You got to look at Bitcoin. It's $50. It's $100. And it helped me to absorb it before, I really understood it. And it was over $1,000. Should have been buying the heck out of it then, didn't. But one day you're really going to get it. And by then, what's the price going to be? What's it hurt you to maybe just skip that one fancy meal and pick up a Litecoin right now? And just hold it. Just forget about it and lock it up. If you'd done that with Bitcoin when it was $100, I think you'd be pretty darn happy right now. History will repeat itself. All right, that's all I've got to say. I hope you have a happy St. Patrick's Day. And to round this up, just like I started, I will be in Phoenix today having some Irish whiskey. And then tomorrow we're going to have our live happy hour. I don't know where it's going to be in Phoenix. Bix Weir's out there, so I think he's going to be hopping on with Lisa and me. And we're going to have a pretty cool live happy hour. There might be some other special guests. So check that out. Check out Litecoin Lisa, her YouTube channel. It will be simulcast on this channel too. But yeah, check out Litecoin Lisa. You know, it'll be live there, and you'll be able to jump in the comments, and I'd love to see you there and shout you out. We can talk a little bit. So Saturday will be the Road to Ruta event in Phoenix. Go check it out on roadtoruta.com. Bix Weir and the Road to Ruta gang playing his music, having a good time. I love it. It's the only reason I fly, but I'll be there. I'll tell you, I don't want to get into my nightmare flight situation, you know, getting flights canceled and this and that. And anyway, the universe was like, oh, you sure you want to go? So it was a struggle, but I'll be leaving soon. And so, yeah, check that out. I don't know if he's going to be live. Lisa will probably be live for Bix's event on Saturday. It'll be a good time. If you're anywhere near Phoenix at all, I'm not, and I'm going to be there. Check it out. Go to roadtoruta.com, click on the roadshow link at the top, and get a ticket and show up. I think it's $25, but it's totally worth it. I mean, you cannot, it's a great environment, a great atmosphere. That's the only reason I'm going, is because it's good people and it's just freedom, and it's really, it's worth it. If you're anywhere near Phoenix, get there. Seriously, get there, get a ticket and say, hey, you know, I watched you, Clint Westwood, come up. I want to meet you and give you a big hug. I'd love to meet everybody. It's just, I don't know who you are. I just see your names, you know, when you make comments, you know me, see my face. Come get me. Come say, hey, you know, I'm such and such. All right. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Be safe. And always trust your judgment, trust your gut. If you're moved to go get that Litecoin and skip dinner, you better do it. All right. Love you all. Talk to you soon.